What's up? Dark Side with Vital MX here with Grant Harlan today. Grant, what's going on, dude?
Oh, not much. Just getting everything cleaned up, packed up, and ready to go for Unadilla next weekend.
Yeah, that's coming quick. How do you feel about your season so far? 25th overall.
It's been tough. It's been tough since the first round of Supercross, and I feel like I've kind of been on an uphill battle since then, and haven't gotten close to the top of the hill yet. So, just trying to keep plugging along with it, and trust the process, as they say. But I feel like we made an improvement, at least in my riding at Washougal. So hopefully we can keep up on that and have another good one at Unadilla.
What is it that you think, what stands out that has caused you to not have the season you wanted? Is there any one thing?
I'm not sure, because I feel like I had a really good off season at Club MX for Supercross, and then this season didn't go that well for me. I wasn't really riding like myself and stuff like that, and then obviously I got hurt before outdoors, getting ready for St. Louis, which kind of set me back a little bit. And then, limited time on the bike before Paula, and then being on the road has kind of limited the training on and off the bike, and the miles on the road. You just, it's hard to get a lot of that in. So I feel like I made improvements throughout the first three races, and then I feel like I took a step back, just trying to progress, and sometimes you go the wrong way. So it's just struggling to find the time. I think that's the hardest part.
Yeah, you mentioned struggling to find the time on the road. You're doing it out of a van, full privateer. You've got some help through Merge Racing with, I think, engines, and riding on the edge racing helps you get some bikes, if I'm not mistaken. You got a couple Kawasaki's. Talk about the people helping you out and being a full privateer.
Yeah, so start of the year, not start of the year, but start of the outdoor season, I was kind of trying to put together my own program, and it's probably the worst time of the year to do it. Everyone's got their budgets, everyone's tapped out on product and all that, but I found a couple guys like Riding on the Edge who helped me get two motorcycles, and then Paul with Menthol stepped up, Blood Lubricants stepped up, Brad with FXR, and a bunch of guys like that, really stepped up to make this happen. So shout out to those guys, and obviously there's some that I didn't name,
like Troy Dog.
But I am staying at his house this next week. So
Ginger Dog.
Yeah, he's making the drive to Unadilla much easier on me. So
there you go.
Yeah, shout out to Troy Dog.
Okay, all right, I'll leave that in. All right, so kind of going back to Supercross, you were working with the Tylube Honda team, and then you switched over to Kawasaki's. I always ask, how difficult is it just switching from OEM to OEM bikes, in the middle of a season? Is that a difficult thing for you, or can you adjust pretty quickly?
Yeah, so like I said, the difficult part of it is finding the time.
Yeah.
And I've worked with Merge in the past with Yamahas, and then obviously they've worked with guys like John Short and Ryder Floyd and Alex Martin on the blue and red bikes. So, I got a lot of trust in those guys, and going green, it was really just a cost thing and a contingency thing as well, along with parts. And one issue I did run into with switching to that brand specifically was the Merge guys didn't have a whole lot of experience getting a bike set up. So, everything I've done up until this point has kind of been, learning with them what works and what doesn't work. Right. And like I said, after the first couple rounds, I was able to come back to Texas, and I think we made a couple wrong choices, just trying to do things quick, where we didn't have the time, in between each race to test a couple things, figured out what works and what doesn't, and then, go apply it on race day. It was kind of like, oh, you felt this, let's try this. And then I have three or four races in a row where if it's not good, it just is what it is. So I think the Kawasaki is a great bike. It's just I haven't been able to find a great setting because of time.
Is there any time during the season? Obviously, you're off right now, but like when you're going week to week, is there anywhere that you find places to go ride, or is it pretty much all travel during the week and just trying to survive on the road?
It's mostly travel.
Yeah.
I think there's not many times I've rode during the week on those, back-to-back weekends. I think it's four races, break, 4 races, break, 4 races. So during those races, I think the only times I've ridden was between the first couple, which was Hangtown and Paula. So other than that, besides the 2-week, 3-week break, I haven't really rode during the week.
Yeah, that makes it extremely difficult.
Yeah, especially like I said, coming back from an injury and on a new bike, not being able to ride and put in the laps has been pretty difficult.
This is probably gonna be an obvious answer, but what is one thing that you feel like you need to change on race day to get better? Is there anything with the program, whether it be just finding downtime to rest, to recover a little bit, or, eating right? What is something that you need to improve on race day?
I feel like my race day routine is pretty good. You wake up, get a cup of coffee, get to the track, eat breakfast, do practice, make lunch, race. I feel like I've got a pretty good system down for race days. As this is my 3rd year in the class, or not the class, but like racing professionally. So, you kind of get a routine, a system down. But I think going into next year and even these last couple, just trying to get better during the week to make the weekend easier, getting the fitness up a little bit more and then trying to get some laps in.
Do you have people on the road with you to help? You have a full-time mechanic?
So my dad has done all of them for me, but Millville, and then he's going to do Budds Creek and Ironman. And I have a buddy help me out for Unadilla. So
okay.
All the driving has been me, and my mom's come to 2. So all the driving's been me besides 2 races, and then my dad flies in on the weekends.
Wow. So you're 21 years old, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So 21 on the road, living the dream a little bit. I know, like, we're talking about how hard this is, but it's still, you're getting to go race motorcycles. I mean, there's got to be some positives coming out of this, right? I mean, it's got to be a good time.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's tough though. Like, there's a lot of times where I'm like, man, do I want to keep doing this? And then, I ride good, and I'm like, well, I got it, so let's do it. Okay,
all right.
Yeah, I mean, besides finding time not to do anything, but to get things done, I think just trying to get through the bad weekends to get to the good ones is pretty tough. But we're making it happen.
It's building some character, man.
That's right, character building.
There you go. When you do have downtime, am I right in saying that you train at Game Moto with Greg Albertson?
I'm actually back in Texas for the moment.
Okay.
Being that I am on the road, it just didn't make sense for me financially to be up there as well. So move back to Texas with my parents for the summer, and then hopefully, when we start to get ready for Supercross, once we get through the kind of the off-season money race period, get ready for Supercross, I can get back up there and full time with those guys.
Washougal, you had a couple crashes, I think, or at least one, and came from 30th to 18th.
Yeah, so the first moto, there was a little pile up on the inside, and I didn't get the greatest jump, but I felt like I came out of the gate okay, and I had Marchbanks to my right and RF to my left, and they just pinched me off a little bit. And going to that first corner, Brandon tipped over in front of me, kind of ran him over a little bit. Bike flipped over on top of me, had to get up, get going. I think I crossed the finish line in 37th or 38th and made it back up to 18th. So, the finish, I mean, I'm like at 18th is okay, but just the fact that I rode good the whole race is kind of what made me happy about the weekend. And even the second moto getting 17th, like I was like, man, I came from last in the first moto and started up front in the second moto, and I only got one spot better. But, yeah, like I said, I think just riding good, no matter what the result is, getting a good feeling on the motorcycles was a good step for me that weekend.
Perfect. I like it. Actually, two more questions. Goals for Unadilla and on.
I'd like to be in the points both motos again at Unadilla. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable goal. I know there's a couple guys coming back, so it'll make it a little bit more challenging, I think, for that 17 to 22 group that's been pretty close this year. But I feel like if I have that feeling that I had at Washougal, I think I should be in the top 20 both motos. So that's the goal for me there.
Okay.
And then to carry that on to Budds Creek and Ironman.
Perfect. Last question. Let's settle this. Hawaii or Texas, man? Where are you from? Where do you consider yourself from?
That's a tough one. Because I was born in Hawaii. So
how old were you when you left?
9.
Oh,
so
okay.
I moved in 2010.
Yeah, you spent some time. Yep.
So I've technically been in Texas longer.
You howly.
And yeah, and I don't really have a good concept or understanding of the Hawaiian culture. So I would say I'm Texan, but I also feel like I have to represent the Island boys. So
Shaka.
Yeah, I'm a mix.
Okay. All right. Well, Grant, man, it's cool talking to you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the call.